नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। I am JVN Dr. Lily Trivedi from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, and today I am going to take the lecture of BSc Agriculture, second sem. The course is Fundamentals of Plant Physiology, and the session today is Respiration, in which we are going to take the electron transport chain, and we are going to discuss that. Now let's start with the first what we have already studied. Now in the previous lecture we have already studied the Krebs cycle, the glycolysis, and today we are going to study the electron transport system, that is the terminal oxidation or oxidative phosphorylation, and also the pentose phosphate pathways. Now in the citric acid cycle we have studied that during the process of oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A, cycle for reducing the equivalents. So 3 as NAD and 4 as FAD are produced. Oxidation of 1 NADH by electron transport is coupled with oxidative phosphorylation and results in synthesis of 3 ATP, whereas the FADH2 leads to formation of 2 ATP. So if we take the total ATP molecules during respiration are given as below. Here in glycolysis, total 8 molecules are produced, 2 molecules at NADH and 2 direct ATP. Now in the linked reaction, we have 6 ATPs through 2 molecules of NADH. Now in the Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle, there are 6 NAD, that means 18, 2 FADH2, that means 4, and direct 2 ATP. So total is 24 in the Krebs cycle. So when we add all these, we are getting 38 molecules of energy. Now we can say Krebs cycle, what does it do? It is consuming and energy also. So we can say it is amphibolic. That means ATP is produced and it is consumed also. Now we come to the oxidative phosphorylation, that is terminal oxidation of reduced coenzyme through, or it is also called as electron transport system. Another name is oxidative phosphorylation. Now this is the last step of aerobic respiration, in which the coenzymes are oxidized. The oxidation of reduced coenzyme is there, which were produced during glycolysis and Krebs cycle. How? By molecular oxygen through FAD, UQ, that is ubiquinone, cytochrome B, cytochrome C, cytochrome A, and cytochrome A3, that is cytochrome oxidase. 2 hydrogen molecules or electrons from the reduced coenzyme NADH2 and NADPH2 travel through FAD and the cytochromes and ultimately combine with half oxygen molecule to produce 1 molecule of H2. Now this is called terminal oxidation. The terminal oxidation of each reduced coenzyme requires 1/2 oxygen, that means half molecule of oxygen and 2 of hydrogen ion, that is 2 electrons plus 2 protein hydrogen protons to produce 1 molecule of H2O. Now except for flavoproteins like FAD and ubiquinone, which are hydrogen carriers, there are other components of electron transport chain, that is the cytochromes, and they are only electron carriers. They cannot give or take proton, and during the electron transport, the FAD and the iron atoms of different cytochromes, they successively get reduced and oxidized, and through the energy and is released in some places, which is utilized in the photophosphorylation of ADP molecules further. In the presence of inorganic phosphate, so the ADP is converts into energy rich ATP molecule. Now since this oxidation accompanies phosphorylation, so it is also called as oxidative phosphorylation. Now here is a slide which is showing the electron transport which can be found inside the mitochondria and the complexes involved in the inner membrane. Now there are 4 complexes and there is a pump also called ATP synthetase, and this pump is not a part of chain but it is very important. So this you can see the outer membrane and this is the inner membrane. So it happens in the inner membrane. So if you are asked a question, electron transport chain, where is it found? It is found in the inner membrane. So here is the matrix and here is the intermembrane space. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the complexes which we will study further on. Now, one molecule of ATP with 7.6 kilocalorie energy is synthesized at each place when the electrons are transferred from NADH2 to FAD or reduced cytochrome B to cytochrome C and reduced cytochrome A to cytochrome A3. Thus, oxidation of one molecule of NADH2 or NADPH2 will result in 3 molecules of ATP, while the oxidation of FADH2 will lead to synthesis of 2 molecules of ATP. Now this is a diagrammatic showing electron transport chain and ATP synthesis. This is the inner mitochondria. Here we have the NAD, NAD plus, and here the protons. Here you can see proton is released and it is transferred. So in this transfer, FADH2 is converted to FAD. So there are 2 free hydrogen ions. Now they combine with the 2 electrons which are existing through electron transport chain and plus half molecule of oxygen to combine to form water. And there are 2 into 2, that is 2 molecules of water. Now here we saw that through FAD transfer it has gone into the another 1, 2, and this is the third complex. And what happens here, again 1 proton is released and to the both sides. So these 2 protons, this is the FADH2. FADH2 into FAD and 2 proton lines. So one is released in this side, other on the other side. Now this through cytochrome C, it goes into the 4th complex, and again here 2 protons are released, and ultimately it is here, this is the final reaction. Now these protons, they are coming here and getting converted into H phosphate ion plus ADP. So these H protons will convert into ATP. So if this is the through FAD we are having this, and through NAD we are having this. Now this was the diagrammatic, and according to the most recent finding, although in eukaryotes terminal oxidation of mitochondria results in the production of free ATP, but that of extra mitochondria through NADH or NADP yields only 2 ATP. So therefore 2 reduced coenzymes produced per hexose sugar molecule during glucose will yield only 2 into 2, 4 ATP instead of 6 ATP molecules. So complete oxidation of glucose molecules in aerobic respiration results in the net gain of 36 ATP molecules in most eukaryotes. So this is a recent finding. Previously we were saying 38, and according to this there is 36. Now 1 molecule of glucose contains 606 kilocalorie, and the energy, and 38 molecules will have how much energy? 38 ATP molecules will have 273.6 kilocalorie energy. So therefore 40% of the energy of the glucose is utilized during aerobic breakdown, and the rest is lost as heat. Since huge amount of energy is generated in mitochondria in the form of ATP molecules, they are also called as powerhouse of the cell. So ATP molecules contain energy in terminal phosphorate bonds, and when these rich bonds break, the energy is released and utilized in various driving other various metabolic activities are conducted. Now there is another pentose phosphate pathway. What is this? It occurs in the cytoplasm outside the mitochondria. So it is an alternative pathway to glycolysis and Krebs cycle. The presence of some compounds like iodoacetate, chlorides and arsenates inhibit some steps of glycolysis, and that leads to the alternate pathway. Now this was discovered by Warburg and Dickon in 1938. So this pathway does not produce ATP but produces another form of energy called reducing power in the form of NADPH. It is not oxidized in the electron transport system but serves as hydrogen and electron donor in the biosynthesis of fatty acids and steroids. So the pentose pathways consist of two distinct phases. In the first phase, the hexose is converted into pentose, and in the second phase, pentose is reconverted to hexose. Now in this process, the oxidation of glucose 6-phosphate leads to the formation of 6-phosphogluconic acid, that is pentose phosphate. Since glucose is directly oxidized without entering glycolysis, this is also called as direct oxidation. So this is the reaction you can see. So 6 molecules of glucose 6-phosphate and 12 molecules of NADP and 5 molecules of glucose 6-phosphate plus 12 NADPH2 and 6 CO2. So this, it should be arrow over here. I think it's been misplaced. Now it provides ribose sugars for the synthesis of nucleic acid and is also required for chemic acid pathways. So ATP is not produced, NADP is produced, and that serves as a hydrogen and electron donor in the biosynthesis of fatty acids and steroids. So this pathway is also called as phosphogluconate pathway, as the first product in this pathway is phosphogluconate. So students, I hope you have understood my lecture and you are satisfied with my digital session in regard to respiration, electron transport chain, and if you have any query, please write in the comment box. I will resolve it soon. This digital session was powered by 2.0 version of Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Thank you and namaste.